that is what we're going to be focusing on, how to release that heaviness, how to surrender that heaviness, how to disidentify with the things that are no longer in alignment with what we are seeking and searching to create, and how to put our focus, put our energy into the thing that our spirit, our higher self is asking of us. Let me send the link one more time to the ladies in the community. I want to make sure that we give everybody the opportunity to join. Add attendees, copy. Boom, boom, boom. Want to give everybody the opportunity to join. Hopefully they can. We are live. Yes, 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 yes. All righty. Okay. So ladies, before you guys came on, Nicole and I were just talking about some of the realizations that she was having during this self-discovery week. And she was speaking. Nicole, I hope you don't mind me sharing.
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you, sis. She was speaking to how she did her mirror magic work. She was doing it in the mirror naked and doing, some of her spiritual practices naked. And I thought that was so dope, and I thought that was so beautiful because she said being naked helped her to fully embrace herself more. That sometimes when we're wearing these clothes and we have these coverings on us, sometimes there can be a barrier from us going deeper. Ladies, any of you care to share what your experience has been like during this week of self-discovery, from the yoni gazing to the mirror magic to reflecting on your ancestors and your relationships or past abuse? Please let me get one or two of you to come on and share what your experience has been like. Brina B, you are unmuted. I don't know if that's because you have intentions of sharing with us, but if so, we're here for it. Anybody else? Shanette, Mary, Sarah? Okay, we got somebody else joining the room.
For me, to be honest, I'll be honest. Like, I feel like I've been slacking this week.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been doing a lot of other spiritual work, but the womb work has not really been the center of my focus. And I really feel like I should be more committed. And I'm kind of like upset at myself, but not at the same time, because I am an understanding of, but I did have the ancestors come through for me last night in a dream space, where they're basically, I guess, referencing my eating habits and getting into herbalism, and that aspect of the womb work, because that's really, it affects the womb, how you eat, and that's really something that I kind of avoid, but it is something that I need to focus on. So
yeah. And everything is always interconnected and interrelated, right? Like, I am not here to tell you that you have to do it this way, you have to do these things. That is not my intention. My intention is to just give you some tools that you can use. And here's the thing, whenever we communicate with our higher self, when we talk to our spirit and we say, okay, this is what I'm going for, this is what I want to accomplish, this is what I'm trying to heal, this is what I'm trying to do, the healing work is always happening. It's happening through your conversations. It's happening when you are at work. It's happening when you're dealing with the kids. It's happening when you're in the car. It's always happening. Your awareness has to be able to tune into how your spirit is revealing to you the connection to whatever is happening in your mundane world to your womb work. So you even saying that the ancestors came into your dreams. The way that you can release judgment is through understanding that you still received a download or a channel that is relevant to your womb space. because we already know the way that you eat, right? The cravings that you have to do with the emotions that you are keeping, period. All right. So if you are being told, okay, you need to shift your eating habits, your spirit is saying you need to shift and heal some of those emotions so that you do choose better food, so that you're not overeating, so that you're not being addicted to the cheesy, creamy, whatever foods that you have been craving, right? So the womb work is still happening. And I want all of you ladies to do that. Maybe there are things that you decide that you will do and things that you decide that you won't do. The most important part is that you have to be consciously aware of what you are doing and what you are not doing, and understanding why. So if you didn't do the yoni gazing exercise, right? Like something in your mind talked you out of it. Like your spirit gave you the message that said, do your yoni gazing. And then for some reason you're like, oh yeah, I'll do it later. Or, oh shit, I just got busy or whatever. Then you want to pay attention to that, because the next question you would ask yourself is, why am I running away from this part of the work? Okay. So, but if there is no connection, emotional connection or mental connection to the specific things that you did or did not do, then it is not something to judge yourself for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
Of course. Brina, if you're ready to share, we're here to listen, sis.
Hey guys, how are you? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
So I wasn't able to tune in last weekend. I got busy, but I did tune in midweek. I was able to do some of the practices. I did write my affirmations on a notebook, but I didn't do it in my mirror yet. But just to piggyback off what you were saying about the eating part, you know, how in the beginning I shared that I recently had a surgery for fibroids and stuff. But ever since I came off the hospital, I went back to just really eating bad and unhealthy. And when it was cleared to go back to work, you know, there were celebrations happening, and I was, I probably have a cocktail once every weekend. So now, my body sends me messages more and more that, you're not supposed to be eating this stuff, and I'm not eating, and it's just getting worse. So after this weekend, I was like, I really need to see the root of why I'm eating what I'm eating, and why I just go back to, I'm going backwards rather than improving. So that was a major thing that came for me this week, just really trying to be intentional about eating it and getting into these herbs and, drinking more tea and stuff. But throughout this journey, I feel like I've been just releasing a lot, especially people that I, still have in my inbox messages. It's just this person is not serving you. Why are you still talking to them? And I'm just really letting go of these things. So I think those are two main things that's hit me in the past week or throughout this journey.
Okay, I hear you. So first of all, I want to say thank you for sharing all that you've shared with us. And I'm glad that you at least had the awareness of your eating habits. Here's a major thing, ladies, when it comes down to our healing work holistically. And that is, we have to choose ourselves, right? So many times we're not choosing what spirit is calling us to go towards. We're choosing what's comfortable. And what's comfortable is no longer in alignment with where we are asked to go at this space and time. And so we have to tap into a deep desire for that transformation and for that healing. And in this session today, I really want us to focus on, because here's the thing, in order for us to release, we have to know what needs to be released. So Brina, my question for you is, what are some of the foods that you eat that you feel like, okay, I know I shouldn't be eating this?
I'm just back to the pasta, the rice. I was vegetarian for a year, but I think because, the protein, or maybe I need to research more. I'm back to vegetarian, so I'm eating more fish and stuff now. But there's a person at work that's always feeding us. And as soon as he said pizza, I'm up and running for a slice of something, and, cake and Yeah, just overall bread, starch, carbs.
Okay. So, and when we're wanting a lot of breads and starchy food, we're really looking for comfort. We're really looking for nurturing. We're really looking almost in a sense like a hug from your mother. Okay. That's what breads do. That's what carbs do. They fill us up. They make us feel full, right? And so my question to you would be in response to that, if you don't mind us going into it. Like I said earlier, ladies, welcome on Lotus, welcome on Kaylin. Today I really want to focus on us having a conversation rather than me going through a PowerPoint. Though I do have a PowerPoint for you, and we will be going through it. We will be doing a guided meditation today, and we will be going through some yoga poses today that are going to support your womb healing. But before we do all of that, and in the midst of all of that, we're going to be having a conversation. Okay, we're going to be having a conversation. So this space is really going to require you ladies to be vulnerable, to be open, and tap into that feminine energy and really tap into that desire for healing and transformation. So, Brenda, what was your relationship with your mother like growing up?
I think it was pretty good. Like in the beginning, I don't know if it's like a whole Haitian culture thing, but you know, I was born here, but I was sent to Haiti, and throughout my childhood, I was mostly raised by my grandmother because my mom was working with my parents and stuff. So coming back here, maybe around the age of 8 or something, I can really feel that that's when I kind of really started my relationship. But she's always been like the sole provider, and you know, they're supporting us. I think overall it was probably just a lack of communication, because I think we all have a problem just expressing ourselves and just keeping everything in. So now that I'm working on just being more expressive, that's like the main thing. Like, it was a pretty good relationship overall. It's just my main thing was, you know, breaking out and having a voice. And because she didn't do that as well, like, I had to see how we can communicate better.
Did you have a relationship with your mother where y'all could say I love you to each other?
Not often. But here and there we express it.
Yeah. And when it was expressed, could you feel that and receive that?
Yeah, because I see that she expresses it in other ways and how she, you know, serves us. Right.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I think I want you to even look into that deeper. And I'm glad that you had a mother who would do the work, who would make sure that you all were provided for. I want you to look deeper into, I see the way that she gave you love, right? I see the way that she gave you love by providing, making sure you had everything that you needed. But I want you to reflect on the ways in which you feel loved, right? Because even with, we talk about this a lot when it comes down to our love languages with our intimate partners, but we don't understand that we develop these love languages based off of how we receive love from our parents. So I want you to ask yourself and really meditate on, how do I receive love? What makes me feel loved? What puts me in a good mood that is not food? What brings me pleasure that is not food?
So I think back when I did, you know, the love language thing, the main thing for me was acts of service. And I can that's how I receive it. And when you said, you know, kind of comes from your parent as well, I think that's one way too. Another thing is just spending time with loved ones. Like, I'm family oriented and stuff. So,
beautiful. So right now, Brina, you have to ask yourself, do I want my healing more than I want this pleasure from this food? It's a real question. Because, you know, and let's just be real, there are some people out there who would rather suffer than heal. I'm not saying that is you, but I knew My
Right.
midwife, rest in peace to my midwife, but my midwife, rather than heal her heart, right? She 100% vouches me for telling her story, right? She made the transition last year on Easter. She died of cancer, right? I believe it was cancer of the lymph nodes, right? So I believe that's what it was. And let me tell you guys a little bit about her story. She was our midwife, beautiful woman. She had 4 children and 2 boys, 2 girls. And she never got married, right? The father of her children never proposed to her, never said, I want to be with you. You are my woman. I want to marry you. Like, he never made that commitment to her. And so she had a lot of anger, frustration, and just resentment towards him and the life that they've created. And so when she told us, I remember it was the day after my son's birthday, because her birthday was the day after KJ's birthday. March 29th was her birthday. And I vividly remember her calling a few of her closest midwifery clients over to her house. And she told us that she had cancer. And I remember asking her and telling her, why won't you just forgive the father of your children so that you can heal, right? Because any ailment or sickness that manifests in the body, a lot of times is unresolved emotions, unresolved trauma, thoughts that we have not processed. That's what it is. And so I asked her that, and she literally said, I will die before I forgive him. It was such a powerful statement that she made, because she was a strong-willed woman. She's an Aries woman. And she literally said, I will die before I forgive him. And after she said that, and she knew the work that I do, like the work that I'm doing with y'all right now is the work that, I've been doing. I've been in this space for a while. And after she said that, I never tried to convince her again on transforming her mind, transforming those emotions, and letting that go. She had made the choice that she would rather suffer than to heal. And so, ladies, we have to ask ourselves, when it comes to our eating habits, when it comes to our thought processes, when it comes to our relationships, what am I choosing? Am I choosing the comfort of the food? Am I choosing the comfort that I receive from this anger? Am I choosing the comfort of identifying with my trauma? Because we have to understand, we've identified with a lot of these things. And when you identify with something, you become that thing. All right. So that is something that I want you to ask yourself. And thank you so much for sharing, Brina. And we can go even deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It really takes introspection in order to answer these questions, right? We can't even fully get into the depths of the matter, by me just asking you 1 or 2 questions, but it starts the conversation. All right. It starts the internal conversation with what is actually going on inside of you. So, Brina, for you, I want you to continue to look at what brings you that feeling of love, that feeling of serotonin, that feeling of greatness. And the only reason why we're talking about food right now is because you brought up food when you said, after the surgery, you went right back to those old eating habits, right? But we can go into a whole nother direction as to emotions, trauma, ancestors, so on and so forth, but we'll do that at another time. Can I get one more of you to share any discoveries, any emotions, any thoughts that may have come up as you went through the self-discovery phase of the Womb Alchemy Bootcamp? Anybody want to share?
I don't mind sharing.
All right, Lotus, what's up?
I didn't see the last video, but I feel like it was about food and how we like run to external things, maybe.
Yeah.
And what I'm realizing with myself is that it's like I can recognize, and I've made the action like to buy healthier options, because a lot of times when I do feel like triggered, I would run to cheese sticks, which is like just depression, like that depression meal. Because a lot of times, like back in high school, that's literally all I ate was cheese sticks anytime I felt sad or just like confused. So I recently like made a plan to buy the right options. So when I do, just really give myself a chance. But it's like it's like I'm not really approaching it from like a holistic way. Like my mind is kind of like I'm stressing myself out almost, like, and it's kind of like I'm being too hard on myself and feeling like stressed out, like, okay, now we got to do this, we got to eat this right. And it's just like I'm not really giving myself the right space, I guess. It's just a little difficult.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
And I'm just trying to, I did watch the first one from the first meeting, and it's definitely like my mind and the way I'm approaching things and just dealing with things. And I think it's really from my childhood, because like my dad was really hard on me about certain things and just not really allowing me to flow as I should be. So I think that's what it is. But yeah, it's still a bit confusing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of that, Lotus. That's really real. And that's why today's topic is going to be so important as we get deeper into it, because sometimes we would drop a negative thought and pick up another one, right? Like when you said you're not going about it the right way, as far as like not getting the cheese sticks when you're feeling down or whatever. And so we'll drop something that doesn't serve us and pick up another idea thinking that that serves us. And the reason why we do that is because we haven't gotten down to the root. We're really just dealing with the symptoms, right? So it's not about the cheese sticks, it's about the depressing feelings.
Sure.
It's not about the cookies, the cake, and the pizza. It's about the unresolved emotions. So we got to deal with the emotions that trigger us to eat a certain way. That's what I'm talking about here, ladies. That's what I want you to understand. How do we look at what is it that is triggering me? Here's an example. A couple of years ago, whenever I would think about money, whenever I would think about, oh, I got to pay all of these bills, oh my God, I would automatically go fries. Like Wingstop fries, Chick-fil-A fries, Raising Cane's fries, like any fries that I can just get my hands on really quickly, that's what I'm gonna go and eat, right? I'm gonna go and eat some fries because that saltiness, it just took my mind off of thinking about these bills, thinking about this money. The fries is not the problem, it's my perspective on money that's the problem that is sending me to the fries. When I change my perspective, when I change my feelings, when I change my thoughts, the fries no longer become a factor. Now I'm eating from a different place. Now I don't even think about fries, right?
Hello?
Are y'all here? Let me know
Yes,
if y'all.
I'm here. We
Hold on. Let me mute this because I told y'all this damn technology today is really hate. What is going on? What did y'all see on y'all side? Did the computer just go out or what happened?
it froze. Couldn't hear you.
It just froze. Wow. Literally on my side, the whole Zoom shut off. The entire Zoom shut off on my side. So now I'm trying to figure out how. Let me just trust spirit and let me record on the computer as well. Let me. All right, so now what I just did, I'm recording this on Zoom and I am recording it on YouTube, and then I just hope that everything comes together correctly. This is craziness. It shut off on my side completely. So I'm glad that y'all are still here. I'm glad that y'all were so patient. Thank y'all. I'm gonna figure this thing out. I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm just gonna keep going with it. Y'all all right with that?
Yep.
All right. So I believe the last thing that I was saying was when I shifted how I was thinking, right? When I started thinking from a perspective, and this is why we got to get into the alchemy of your thought in taking back your emotions. Ladies, when you give these thoughts your emotions, your feelings, when you start to feel that anxiety, when your heart gets to racing, when you start to feel sad, when you start to feel mad, when you start to judge yourself for the thoughts that you're keeping, this is what powers up the thoughts and gives them more energy. This is what makes your thoughts stronger. Okay? And so what you have to start doing is stop feeling some type of way about the thoughts that you are having and understand that your thoughts are simply programs. This is some next level shit that I need you to understand. Some of the thoughts and the habits, not even some of them, all of them, the thoughts, the habits, and the emotions that you keep, they are physiological. Okay? What do I mean when I say they're physiological? I mean, they are literally hormones and chemical processes that are taking place within your brain and within your blood. Okay? When you understand that, you will allow yourself to detach from the thought and understand that this thought is simply being triggered based off an internal and an external experience. You do not have to believe everything that comes into your head. As you are trying to transform, change, and release certain thoughts, this is going to be so key to understand that your thoughts is just a biological, physiological process that is happening within you. And now you are taking control over that process and you are deciding to create a new one. So when I was thinking, and this is how it was for me when it came down to money and then the food that I would start eating, the carbs that I would engage in, how it would happen for me is it'll be the first of the month, the 15th, whatever. It'll be that time when the bills are due. And immediately around that time of the month, those times of the month, and I know I'm about to get paid, and I know I got these bills, this is when automatically my mind will go into this thing of, okay, let's count up all of this money. What do you got to pay for? How much do you have left? Do you have anything left? My mind will automatically go into that. So the time of the month would automatically trigger those thoughts. And so I had to pay attention to that. Okay. And as I paid attention to that, the next thing was, okay, when I have this thought, what am I going to do about it? Well, first, I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to talk down to myself about it. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to give that thought a different fuel. And the different fuel that I gave that thought was, I have enough. I have enough. I am divinely supported. I have enough. And I will feel gratitude. I will feel grateful that I do indeed have enough. Okay? And I will keep on doing this. I would keep on doing this until the original thought of not having enough went away. Okay? But you ladies have to be willing to go to battle with yourself. That's why that song came up. I hear you. The song that we listened to, Kaylin and Lotus, before you ladies came on was Never Give Up by Yolanda Adams. And so many times, ladies, we give up and we give in to these negative, judgmental thoughts and emotions that don't serve us. We give in to the habits that don't serve us. You know, eating a certain way doesn't serve you, but you give into it. Now, that's not saying that you can't eat some cookies, some cake, some ice cream every now and then, because I sure do partake every now and then, right? I definitely do partake every now and then. But it's to say in those moments where your spirit is telling you, you have to change, you have to transform, you have to become different. In those moments, you cannot give up on yourself. When your spirit tells you, I need you to fast for 3 days. I need you to fast for a day. I need you to fast for a month. If you want to see this transformation, I need you to do this hard work. We give up on ourselves in those moments and we tap into what is comfortable. So the never give up is never give up on you and what your higher self, God, is calling you to do. Never give up on the positive thought. Do not give in to the negative thought because that's the one that you're most familiar with. Oh, I always think like this. This always happens to me. Giving in to the self-pity. It has to stop. My spirit is on fire right now because it's just like, you know, when I do these classes, and even when I've, gone live on YouTube or post a video on Instagram, like my real intention, my genuine intention is that you don't hear the information that I'm giving and like you just get high off of it. Like, that's not what I want. Like, I wanted to make you feel good, but I wanted to transform you more. And in order for it to transform you, there are things that you have to do. And you have to become a person who is willing to do anything for your healing. And that brings us into our topic today. In order for you to heal, to transform, and to become the woman that your higher self has designed you to be, that God has designed you to be, has created you to be, in order for you to become that, you got to release the shit that is no longer working. All right? You got to release the stuff that's no longer working. And it takes work. It takes work. It takes vulnerability. It takes you just being like, excuse my language, but fuck it.
Yeah. Can I share some?
Go ahead, Nicole.
So, it's this book that I used to read, and it was called Inner Peace by Louise Hay. And it was saying that it was about thoughts. It was saying a thought is just a thought, and a thought can be changed. So it says whenever them type of thoughts come up, like it says acknowledge the thought, like say thank you for sharing, and then create your new thought, but don't hold the thought. Just acknowledge it though, so it won't keep playing over in your head.
I love it.
And on top of that, like with the thoughts, with your words and dealing with the throat, because I have thyroid issues too, but it's better because my doctor had caught it. So I know that I have to have a lot of throat chakra work to do. And also too, it's this other it's called Healing Secret of the Ages book that I've been reading, and it talks about 12 mind powers, and your throat, the mind faculty power is the throat, and it's called the power center. And so in this area, it says that, in ancient times that the thyroid gland was considered the sex gland, which is also said that it was described as a third ovary. And so with that being said, what I do is I do my womb work also to my throat chakra, also to my thyroid. I do the same thing, I massage it, I talk to it. I pretty much like do the same thing because it's a part of the womb. Yes,
absolutely. So, were you live here last time, Nicole? Did you make it to the last session?
Yeah, I did, but I left early.
Because I posted a video, not a video, I showed a picture of the throat and how the structures of the throat are almost identical to the structures of the uterus, the vagina, whatever. They are literally one and the same. As far as the structure, and the vocal cords look just like the vagina. So absolutely. And this, oh, come on. I forgot to add this. Let me add this on this thing because Spirit told me about this. Spirit told me about this like last night as I was thinking about, this session. Something else that I want you to look into, Nicole, when it comes to the thyroid, I want you to look into your youthfulness. I want you to ask yourself, how can I be more childlike? Or what experience did I have as a child that stripped me of my innocence? I want you to ask yourself that question. I want you to reflect on that question. I want you to reflect on, how can I tap deeper into my innocence? Not only that, here's what I want you to do too, Nicole. Oh, Nicole, you did do the Qigong. Okay, yeah. So the tapping right here. The tapping right there also helps activate that thyroid by tapping on the thymus. So, they all go hand in hand. So you definitely want to tap on that. You definitely want to give yourself that throat massage, get you some oils and rub your throat. And then you also want to yell, scream. Oh my God. Y'all don't know. When's the last time you just screamed?
You remember I had messaged you when I screamed and I got real hoarse. Like it's just like it's so much that's being released when I scream, because I was doing the exercises in Dreams book, the 23 breakthroughs.
Yeah,
I was doing that, and it's like I get really hoarse when I do, like immediately.
Yeah, and so and that's okay too, because we also have to honor the physical body as well. So I'm proud of you for doing those things, but definitely I want you to look into your youthfulness, into your childlike spirit, and do more work with that. Let's get into this content today. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. I want to hear from Mary in the future. I want to hear more from Shanette and Kaylin. I want to hear from all of y'all as we go deeper into this. And then, of course, Sarah, Lotus, and Brina, y'all can share what things come up as well. Let's get into this. So today is the release section, and here's the quote for it. You must release from your womb what no longer serves you to make space to birth all that evolves you. Ladies, if you are holding on to a thought and emotion or habit, then you do not have the space to allow the higher vibrational thought, the higher emotion, and the healthier habits to manifest in your life. Okay. This is why, and then here's something that is also so deep. A lot of times when people decide that they're no longer going to smoke, they put the cigarette down and pick up the weed, right? And some people may look at that like, nigga, you just leaving one thing for another, but it's actually a very powerful, beneficial thing when you release something to fill that thing with something else. So like Lotus was saying with the cheese sticks, we're not saying just get rid of something because there is a physiological thing that is happening, because your blood is used to you taking in a certain thing, because your mind is used to you taking in a certain thing. You have to replace that thing with something else. All right. But if you're not willing to let that thing go, you cannot replace it with what actually serves you, what evolves you, what helps you to become your best self. All right. That makes sense?
Yes.
You gotta, thank you, thank you. You have to make the space, okay? You gotta make the space. Right now, we are gonna go into a guided meditation, which I am so excited about. So excited about this guided meditation that we are going to go into right now. I want you ladies to go ahead in this space and moment, get comfortable. I'm definitely going to get comfortable. This is my favorite divine feminine music here. And I don't know how long this meditation is going to be, ladies. I'm really just going to trust spirit and just allow whatever words. I don't have a script already laid out, anything like that. I'm just going to allow whatever words come up and come out. And I'm just going to trust my spirit here. I want you ladies, if you can, to definitely tune in and, get rid of the distractions if possible, and try to create a space for you to really connect with yourself. Here are two things that you can do. This picture right here is called the Yoni Mudra. And the Yoni Mudra is when your pinky, your ring finger, and your middle finger are all interlaced. And then your pointer finger and your thumbs, they are connected, making a diamond, right? They're making a diamond. They're making the shape of the yoni. You can put your hands in that pose, or you can make a diamond and rest your hands on your womb space. But I want you to do one of those things because it allows you to get centered. It allows you to get focused and tuned into the womb, because that is what we're meditating on today. All right. All right. So I'm going to get the music started, and I just want you ladies to listen and to go with me on a journey. I just want you ladies to listen and essentially just go with me on a journey. I take it that you ladies can hear this music. I don't want it to be too loud. Before we jump in, please let me know if you can hear the music and you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, or a yes, that'll work too. Can you hear the music and hear me? Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you, Lotus. Thank you, Kaylin, for utilizing the thumbs up. Thank you. All righty. Go ahead and get nice and comfortable. Let's start there. Either sitting straight up or lying down. We're going to start by first tuning into the body. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, out of your mouth. And I want you to breathe. I want you to now just connect with your body and find any spaces of tightness, tension. I want you to find that, and I just want you to speak to it. Just tell it to relax. Relax, relax, relax. Letting it go. I want you to bring your attention now to your toes. Wiggle your toes, wiggle them, and then I want you to tell them to relax. Staying focused on your breath, using your breath to help you to relax. Your body right now is under your command. Now I want you to bring your attention to your legs. Feel those legs, feel the energy. You feel any tightness, feel any tension, just tell it to relax. You're safe. You're secure. You're free to be here. Now I want you to bring your attention to your womb, to your belly. And I want you to just tell it to relax. Just tell it to relax. Yes. I want you to bring your attention to your chest, your shoulders, your throat. Feeling any tightness, you feel any tension, just ask it to relax. You have the power to communicate to your body and get the results that you desire. Just tell it to relax. Pay attention to the back of your neck, those shoulders. If you gotta roll your head around a little bit or raise your shoulders and let them drop, feel free to do that. Just tell it to relax. Relax, relax, relax. Now let's bring your attention to your face. Pay attention to your jawbones, your eyes, and just tell it to relax. The crown of your head, relax, relax, relax. Just relax. And since our yoni, since our womb is so connected to our throat, I want you ladies to practice vocalizing your exhale. Try it with me now. Breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, just do a ah. As you release that exhale with your sound, you are relaxing your throat and relaxing your sacred space. And you're creating the space to enter into a sacredness, a quietness, a stillness in this moment. Now I want you ladies to either do your Yoni Mudra, or you can just rest the palms of your hand on your womb in a diamond shape. Breathe into your hand. Now that we are nice and relaxed, I want you to see yourself for who you are right now. Who are you right now? Just see yourself. How do you look? How do you feel? Just within your mind's eye, see yourself. Visualize you. Without judgment, with your presence, with your peace, just see yourself. Now I want you to go back 10 years. If you could see yourself 10 years ago, 10 years in your past, go to her, go see her. I see myself young, fresh, unaware, but strong, powerful, full of potential. I want you to see yourself 10 years ago. Look at how much you've grown. Look at how much you evolved. Look at how beautiful you are. Yes. I want you to even just right now, just say thank you to yourself for being here right now. For being in this space. Thank you. I want you to just have gratitude for being able to do this work, for being able to be here, for having the resources, for having the time, for having the money, for having the mind, for having the spirit to be here right now. Thank you. Tell yourself thank you. What I want you now to do is to take yourself back into the womb. The womb is a space of infinite darkness, so visualize yourself in a dark space, outer space. Let's go outer space. Visualize yourself in the cosmos. Yes. It's dark here, but it's comforting. I want you to see yourself in the cosmic womb, connected to the source in all that there is. I want you to remember that your visualization does not have to be perfect, it just has to be intentional. And right now, the intention is to return to the cosmic womb, the great mother womb, the sacred womb, the healed womb. I want you to feel the deep love of the cosmic womb. I want you to feel yourself being hugged by the great mother. I want you to surrender and into this very deep, it's very powerful, it's very cosmic love. In this space, you feel supported. You know that anything that you desire, you can have. In this space, you feel loved, truly loved, unconditionally loved, a spiritual love. In this space, I want you to give yourself now anything and everything that you wanted but you couldn't access. The love, the compassion, the freedom, the understanding, the gratitude, the thankfulness. Give that to yourself now. You're so loved. You're so valued. So worthy. You're so powerful. Feel your power here now. I want you to take a nice deep breath and exhale. I want you to ask yourself internally, ask your womb, what must I do to continue this love, this support, this healing? Ask the womb. Your womb is directly connected to the cosmic womb that you are dwelling in now. And within it is so much wisdom, information. There is tough love here. There's healing here. There's understanding. And in this space is your answers. What must I do? What must I do to continue the love, the support, the healing? What am I missing? What am I needing? What is being asked of me now? I want you to ask your womb that question. I want you to trust the images. I want you to trust the messages. I want you to trust what's coming up for you now. That's the answer. That's the answer. Thank you, Spirit, for the answer. Thank you. Take another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you to come back into your body. I want you to come back into your space, into your sacredness, into your vessel. And I want you to just feel the energy that is present within you. Feel the life that still dwells within you. Feel the spirit that is you. We're going to take 3 deep breaths and come back into this present moment. 3, take this deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth now. 2, in through your nose and out through your mouth. 1, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Wherever you have your hands now, I want you to put them in prayer position as if you are praying. And I want you to just place your hands in the middle of your forehead. What we are doing now is just surrendering to the wisdom that our womb and the cosmic womb has given us. And we are just placing that energy into our minds, into that third eye. Now I want you to place those prayer hands right in front of your heart. And this is you just centering all the wisdom, all the love, all the information that you just received, just centering it within your heart now. And then back to the womb with the diamond shape, hands over the womb. One last thank you. Feel that gratitude, feel that love. And we are back. I want to thank you, ladies, for journeying with me and entering into that sacred space. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Alrighty. Now I want you ladies to, what we're going to do now is decode the messages of your womb. Would anybody like to share any thoughts, any emotions, feelings, any experiences, any messages that came through? Would anybody like to share? If so, go ahead and just unmute and you can start talking.
I can go. There are actually a couple of things that came to me throughout this meditation. The first one was when you asked us to look at how we see, I think about how we see ourselves, and then going back 10 years. When I think about how I viewed myself over that 10-year span, it wasn't in a light place. It's like I tried to force myself to see darkness, but what I visualized was like this little, almost like a fly or like a some type of like insect that's like captured in a jar that's like bouncing with so much energy and so much beauty. It's like wherever I bounced, it was like beautiful and everyone wanted to be around me and everything was so happy. And so I just sat with that and like, this is who you actually are, no matter what those other thoughts say. Like, you are this light that other people love to experience, because that's actually what I get on my day-to-day life. And so it's like, allow yourself to be that and feel it.
Yeah.
And when I went into outer space, into the cosmic world, the message that I got was release it, let it go, and believe. I have really been struggling with, sorry, I'm getting emotional.
It's okay.
The feeling of, it's like this feeling of rejection from my dad. And I felt it like throughout my entire life. And I've tried to have those tough conversations. And it's like, I'm dismissed every time. And I don't know how to handle that. And so I just got, release it, let it go, and just believe. What the believe is I don't know. I don't know if it's like I should believe that it can get better, or believe that I will be okay no matter what. But that's the message that I continue to get over and over again.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Kaylin. You know, I understand. And it's so spiritual because my dad just came over. I heard him downstairs. Like, I literally heard the doorbell during the meditation, and I heard my kids start yelling. So I know that that's him. And so multiple things. I think even him coming right now is a testament to you to know that in due time, he'll come around. When you release the expectations that you've had of him, and you understand that he's just a man, you release this pressure off yourself to be somebody who feels like you have his approval. Because when we're dealing with a rejection wound, the opposite of rejection is acceptance. The opposite of rejection is approval and feeling like you're valued, feeling like, you know, if my daddy sees how great I am, if my daddy sees my life, then that means something, and I won't feel that feeling anymore. I want to tell you right now from my own experience that the healing comes from you. It doesn't come from him being able to receive the message that you're giving. In fact, when I told my dad everything that I felt, it was kind of the same way. It was kind of, well, you know, your mother did this, or this happened, or that happened. And it wasn't just, you know, an understanding of the emotions that I felt. And it was at that moment that I realized, oh, it's not for him to understand. It's not for him to do all of this and this and this. My dad still apologized, so that was great, but it didn't change how I felt. So you are going to feel how you feel. You're going to still feel like your father could have done more. He could have did better. He could have did differently. You're still going to feel that way. Now you have to ask yourself, how have I allowed those emotions and those feelings and those thoughts of rejection? How have I allowed those feelings to stop me from showing up fully as myself? And when you shift that, when you release that, because see, for me, it was, I'm not good enough. I'm not loved. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. And so when I transformed that and I started telling myself, I am beautiful, I am great, I am worthy, I am valuable, and I started living my life that way. See, it's time for you, sis, to take back the power that you've given to your father. And I get it, because fathers are a daughter's true, if we're being all the way real, a father is a daughter's first God. He's her everything. But you're being asked right now to take back your power that you've given him, okay? And understanding that he did not know what he was doing. He did not know the impact that he was having on you. And he still doesn't know, which is why it seems as if he's dismissing your feelings. He doesn't know, sis. He doesn't get it. But it is your responsibility to really reflect on who you are designed to be and who you were before you accepted this idea of him rejecting you. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And it also makes me think that along with me going through this process, I have to take my sisters along with me because they feel that same rejection. It's almost like whenever myself, my mom, and my sisters, we have conversation, it always stems back to like the lack with my father. So it's this constant cycle of this toxic conversation with no solution. And it's like I have to be the one to say, no, we're not going to give that any more energy. Like, what can we do to feel, good about ourselves despite, how we're feeling? So it's like that leader in me. I feel like ever since my grandmother passed last year, it's been like this message of spirit giving me like, okay, you have to step up. Like you're the next in line. It's my turn. And it's like, it's scary. It makes me afraid. And I have tried to run from it, but I can't. Like, it's just who I am.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that I received that message and I do have to release it. And I also think on top of being there for my family, I have to be vulnerable with my partner too, because I think he tries to show that respect about, well, I'm not gonna say anything about your family, but I have to, feel comfortable crying to him too and letting him know how it impacts me so he could be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. That's such a big deal what you just said. Because it's not that he's gonna heal the wound, but he supports you in mending it. He supports you. He supports you in you being who you are designed to be.
Yeah.
And that's such a powerful thing that we definitely don't want to take for granted. Which, as my downloads were coming through, I was thinking about stuff with my partner as well. So it's a powerful, powerful thing, sis. And I'm so proud of you. And I want you to know that the releasing of this is you seeing your value and you owning how valuable you are, and you understanding that the feeling or the thoughts of rejection that have come from whatever the experience was with your father, understanding that you can change that belief.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What was the belief that you inherited based off of those feelings of rejection?
This one is hard because I have developed this habit of sweeping my feelings under the rug. So when it's time to look up under the rug, it's like, what am I looking for again? I think some of my beliefs, like off the top of my head, are just like, he doesn't care. He didn't really want children. And I guess to myself, I was just brushing it off where it's like, it really doesn't faze me like that. It's just like, whatever, like it sucks, but moving on. But I think I know that it impacts me a lot more than I gave it credit to, because I kind of looked at it like, yeah, I used to be a daddy's girl, but he just, fell off. So it's like, whatever, moving on. It's like, no, that really hurt me. And I'm reflecting on some of the actions that I made with just some of when life was lifing and it hit me. And that way I saw approval in all of the wrong ways.
Yes. That's it. So the alchemy of that thought would be, I am so cared for. I really sit with that thought. I am so cared for. Think about your life experience, like separate from your father and think about your life experience. Have you been cared for?
People love me.
Facts. Yeah. But see, we get so narrow-minded when it comes to that one childhood, a couple of childhood experiences. We get so narrow-minded and we overgeneralize it and we apply it to every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
Right? It's like we put a magnifying glass on that thing and it causes us to forget that we're truly cared for. And that people, you said when you went back, 10 years, you saw yourself as like this light, and that people were so attracted, that people just wanted to view and people just wanted to see and admire. People care about what you're doing. People care about who you are. So whenever you're feeling like, oh, nobody cares about me, because that's how we overgeneralize things. Nobody cares about me. Nobody really sees my value. Nobody wants to see my light. It is in that moment where you have to turn around and say, I am so cared for. I am so valuable. I am so amazing. I have something that I am here to give. And then when you do that, you feel gratitude. Immediately go into gratitude, because that's where the shift comes into place. And now you take away momentum from the feelings of rejection, from the feelings of not being cared for, and you give momentum to, I am so cared for, I am so valuable, I have a light that I'm here to shine.
Yeah. And it also gives me that energy and that willingness and desire to pour back into people who pour into me.
Yes, ma'am. And then this is when it comes into next week, because next week we're going to be talking about embrace. You embracing the goddess, you embracing your purpose, you embracing who you divinely are. So absolutely what you are saying right now is just hitting the nail on the head. And so I want you to practice continuing to show up like you know people got your back, because people do, like you know people care about you. And because you know people care about you, you can be vulnerable and express what your needs are. You expressing your needs is actually going to help you to heal this rejection wound. Because in the past, you haven't been expressing what you needed because you didn't feel like people cared and that people would provide and people would do what they needed to do to support you. So when you become deliberate and you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to express, then this is healing your past. This is healing your childhood. Your present moment heals your past. The things you do right now heals the past. So you got to take a deep breath. You got to take a deep breath, muster up the strength, and speak life to what it is that you desire, what it is that you desire from yourself and what it is that you desire from others. And you do it with love. And the reason why you can do it with love is because you know you're cared for. See, in the past, you were doing it out of anger. You were doing it out of frustration because you thought nobody cared about you. And that misconstrues the energy. Make sense?
Yeah, it's really hitting me. Yes.
I'm here for it, sis. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Kaylin. I appreciate you. I'm glad you jumped on in. Mary or Shanette, do any of you want to share?
Yes. This time last year.
Mary, hold on. Something's off with your speaker. It feels kind of like muddled. I don't know what's going on, but if you're try again.
Did that help?
That helped a lot, yes.
Okay. This time last year, I realized when, looked within, I was using ice to deal with what I didn't want to feel. And once I would just eat so much ice day and night, which I know wasn't good for me or my spleen. But then one day I asked myself, why am I, just eating so much ice? And then I heard it just as clear within, because I'm numbing myself for what I didn't want to feel. And then last year, the husband of 22 years finally admitted about the infidelity.
Okay.
And then I was already, numbing things of what I already thought. And then the way I allowed him to treat me. So, it's like it's all making full circle, me taking back the power that over these years that, I spent more time focusing on my children, my family, him, than I really did myself. So when you told us to ask the question, what can I do? Which was what I've been, doing, and, taking the Women After Me Bootcamp was, to love myself even more. And I'm so grateful that, now, this time, I'm not in the headspace that I was back then. And I'm here and I'm feeling so much better. And by the time, it's over, I feel even better. I mean, it's been quite a year since, then. And I thought the divorce would have been over with by now, but it just seems like he and these lawyers should just keep dragging on to the point. But I think Spirit had helped me with that, that I had to just, can't keep letting these outsiders just pull me away and letting what they do or don't do affect my emotions. That, I'm just going to observe this thing and love myself and just watch it play out. But
let me pause you, Mary. Hold on. Let me pause you. Because my throat started hella itching as you were talking. And I don't think anything is like coincidence, because it just started itching real bad. Real bad. First of all, your phone is still sounding kind of funny. Do you have like headphones in or something?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's see, did that?
Let me
Yes,
hear you talk. You sound way better now.
Okay.
This is spiritual. Okay, let me tell you how I know. Okay, one, as you were talking, everything was muddled. Hey, Jenny, girl, you're looking beautiful, girl. Look at you. Mary, as you were talking, your speaker was muddled. So what that says to me, and then my throat started itching like crazy, and it ain't itched, this whole time, right? What that says to me is that when you are communicating with people, either you are feeling not heard, or the message is not being communicated properly, or people are not receiving what you have to say, or you're just not speaking your truth in general. Okay? Because that's just too much happening at one time. Everything is working together. Nothing is coincidence. I literally had to mute myself and like cough. People cough, right? A lot of times people who deal with a cough is because they struggle with expressing themselves. So the cough is like, let me express myself this way. It's all spiritual, it's all metaphysical. Right? And then when I combine that to your speaker being muddled and it was very low. So my question to you is, how have you been able to express what it is that you need, what it is that you are feeling? How good are you at vocalizing your desires, your needs, your hurts, your pains?
Well, last year, it was the end of the month that, from just observing, though, throughout the marriage, I would express to him, I feel as though you're, dismissing me, you treat me this way, that way. And even through the process of the divorce, like he sent me more flowers than I ever got out of the 22 years. I could ask him not to, and then he would just send them more. I tell him, which, I've forgiven him, that, but just keep your hands to yourself. You don't have to touch me, but then he'll do it anyway. So I'm expressing, how I feel, but he's not listening. I'm not taking that personal because, I'm saying, even when I was upset, the anger, I expressed that. And then once I was, back at peace and forgiveness, I expressed that too. But as far as the listening, it seems to, as far as the divorce and these lawyers and him, which I had last time we were in court was in March. And I was like, when will this be over with? I'm ready to put this behind me and, move on with my life. He was like, well, hopefully in May. And then that wasn't the case. And
so you have been in a relationship with a person who has disregarded your request. Okay, gotcha. Now, it is still a reflection of you. So the next question would be, and what has your spirit been asking you to do? Your higher self been telling you, do this, and you've disregarded those voices, the voice of your higher self.
Well, I'm trying to see, because when I, about the ice, using the ice for months, and I told myself, I won't keep numbing myself or whatever I need to feel, I won't avoid it, just make it known. And then, so I had to ask him, stop pretending like, all this staying out and your behavior, that nothing's going on, that you're going to tell me right here and now, you know, what's going on. So I'm trying to see, but though through the process.
That's powerful, Mary. And you got to continue that throughout your life.
That I do have to, speak up more for myself, show up for me, because I have to now, you know, it's no looking to him and trusting him, you know, it's on me. And of course, myself and my intuition, which before I had noticed in the course, I'm not for sure how to pronounce it, but that Hawaiian, the prayer about, that spirit had allowed me to come across that this beginning of this summer, one day when I was outside to, you know, to do that, to, you know, forgive him and forgive me for what I, you know, allowed, and, you know, to keep calling back and taking back my power that, you know, that I just gave away without realizing, you know, all these years.
Yeah. So
that's
powerful. That's powerful. Thank you so much for sharing, Mary. I am proud of you. I am so proud of you. And so, yes, you keep on listening. And I'm glad you're getting the messages, because even you saying that your spirit had told you you were using the ice to numb, you know, to numb yourself. That's a very real thing. And then also that ice is crunchy. So a lot of times we're taking out a lot of frustration on that ice because our jaws are crunching on that ice, right? So we're taking out a lot of frustration in that way too. And then also make sure that you're checking in with your blood, make sure that you're having enough white and red blood cells, and not dealing with anemia as well, because sometimes we are physiological beings. So yes, one can deal with, okay, I'm numbing myself, but a part of that numbing yourself is not having those white blood cells, that the iron, let's say that the iron, the spirit can keep on this thing, downloading this thing more and more, because when we think about iron, we also think about the statement, iron sharpens iron. Okay. And a lot of times people who are always eating ice, they are iron deficient, anemic. So maybe you weren't in a relationship where you were being sharpened and you were sharpening him, and y'all were growing as individuals and growing as a couple. Like everything is always interrelated. So I'm proud of you for being here, because this is you saying, I am showing up, I am healing, I am transformed, I am sharpening myself, I am evolving myself, and I am choosing to grow.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Jenny, I will tell you, Jenny, you are going to have to go back and listen to this, because it has definitely been a lot of goodness, a lot of goodness. But I'm so glad you are here. I love seeing that face. Thank you. Mary, I will be sending your box out on Monday. So I appreciate you, sis. Thank you for sharing. Everybody else, I definitely want you to ask yourself these questions. All of this content is in Teachable. If some of it is missing, it will be uploaded in Teachable later today. So thank you, ladies. Let's get into the alchemy of thought. We kind of just did this a little bit with Kaylin, and I talked to y'all about this in the the magical mindset portion, but I want to talk to you about it again, because true transformation lies in transmuting the energy of the thoughts that have manifested in your life. So the thoughts that you are having, healing comes from when you transform them and transmute them. We have to transform how we perceive our womb and the experiences of our womb. So when I was in college, that's when I went and I got a pap smear and was told that I had an abnormal pap smear. They were abnormal cells that were growing or transforming on my cervix, right? And immediately I went into like a frantic, scared mode, because a lot of times they say, if you have an abnormal pap smear, this means HPV, this leads to cervical cancer. This had scared the shit out of me, and I had developed this thought, this fear of cancer, to where I would always be thinking about it. I would always see signs, or I would always see things, and I'm just like, no, get this out of my head. but it all stemmed from getting that abnormal pap smear, right? And so when I learned this process, I learned this alchemical mental shift process through this cancer thought, because I'm like, first of all, spirit, that's not in my cards. I don't want to keep thinking about this because I don't want to manifest that. I want to be here for my kids. I want to fulfill my purpose. I want to do what I have been called to do. Okay. So I had to transform this fear of cancer that stemmed from an abnormal pap smear, right? First of all, it was so loaded. First of all, I ended up healing the abnormal pap smear because I realized that if my cells were changing, if my cells were abnormal, it's because I'm not giving them something to do. If you study cells, right? If you study cells of the body, you will learn that your cells have a job. And when they don't have a job, when they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, when they don't know if they're supposed to be a cervix or an ovary, when they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, they'll run rampant. They'll go crazy. All right. And we all have abnormal cells within our bodies. But when you have negative thought, this turns those abnormal cells into tumors, into cancer, into fibroids, into cysts. That is what is happening on a metaphysical level. Okay. And so the first thing for me when having that abnormal pap smear, I had to say, okay, why am I turning on myself? Why is my body turning on me? This is the same thing. If you are a person that is dealing with an autoimmune disease, this means that your body has turned on you and it is doing something other than what it is supposed to do. So spiritually, I had to tune into myself and I had to say, you know what, I'm going to love me more. And that love showed up as being disciplined. That love showed up as I'm going to think differently. I'm going to feel differently. I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to live in my purpose. I'm going to stop eating certain foods, right? So I had to turn that energy inward and I had to become one with myself. But let's get into the alchemy of thought when it came to this fear of cancer, right? I had this fear, I had this thought. But this fear downloaded to me, well, one, the reason why you keep having a thought is because you have so much fear, so much emotion, so much anxiety surrounding it. So that was the first thing. And the spirit was like, you got to change the emotion. You got to take back all of the energy that you've given it, all of the fuel that you've given it. And instead of fear, you got to give that thought of cancer love. And so now whenever I would think a thought of cancer, or I would see something that had cancer on it, I would be like, I love you. Thank you. I changed the energy that I was giving it, and therefore it changed. And so instead of me thinking about cancer, the sickness, I started thinking about cancer, the zodiac sign, and everything that energy is. Cancer, the zodiac, is the mother, the nurturer, the lover. It's the womb. It's the care. It's the organizing of the home. I had to shift. And so when I shifted from thinking about the fear of the sickness and started giving it love, I received the download. Oh shit, this thought just means I am the great mother. This thought just means I am the healer. I am the nurturer. Because when we look at cancer in the zodiac, that's what it does. Okay? So whenever you have a thought that doesn't, whenever you have a thought that doesn't serve you, first, you have to take away the anxiety. You have to take away the fear. You have to take away the judgment of that thought. And you got to give that thought love. Give it love. And then you have to then tap into your feminine energy to get creative and see the opposite side of the coin. The word is still cancer. On one side of the coin is sickness. The other side of the coin is great mother, healer, provider, nurturer, energy. And whether you give it fear, you're feeding the sickness. If you give it love, you're feeding that great mother. Does that make sense? Okay. This is what you have to do. You have to transform your view of your past experiences to release the stranglehold that it has on you and therefore change your future. See, I changed my future. I changed my future. I got out of a state of fear, and I jumped into a state of abundance. I jumped into a state of motherhood. I jumped into a state of being a real nurturer, not just to my children, but to y'all as well. Right? And it was so funny because Spirit was always giving me the download, because people would always tell me, grown-ass women would always tell me, you just are like so much like a mother, like the way you give hugs and the way that you talk is so mothering, it's so nurturing. And I was like, oh shit, I guess I am a mother to many people older than me and younger than me. I can be everybody's mother, right? But I had to transform and transmute the energy. All right. You want to use the message of the womb to heal at the root. So like what we just did with Kaylin, she had this message of let your light shine, be your best self, release this thing. And we ended up getting to the root of it, which was the rejection from her father and feeling like she wasn't cared for. That is what we just did. And we just transmuted that thought. You have to find the silver lining and discover the highest vibration of any thought, any experience, any belief. You got to find the higher vibration of it. And when you tune into the cosmic womb, that is where you will discover it at, okay? You'll discover it by taking that thought and asking your higher self, okay, what does this mean? What is the opposite side of this coin? All right. When you do this, family, when you do this, ladies, you will shift your future experiences. Let's keep going. Does everybody understand that part? The alchemy of the thought? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a yes. Give me a I understand. Give me that. And then here's what I want to do. In the Geneva app, I want us to actually do some alchemy on your thoughts. You can drop a belief that you've been having in the Geneva, and I want to support you, or I want to see how you've been able to transform it and find the higher vibration. Okay? So here are some physical things that you ladies need to do to start releasing. Understand that we are multidimensional. We are physical, we are spiritual, we are mental, we are emotional, we are multidimensional beings. And when you do something on the physical realm, it affects your spiritual realm. When you do something in the spiritual realm, it affects your physical realm. And so one thing that is a non-negotiable, and I am challenging you ladies this week to fast. Not to fast for the whole week, fast for a day. If you're used to fasting, fast for 3 days. But it's so much more powerful when we do it together. I've already decided that I'm going to fast on Wednesday of this week. Wednesday of this week, I'm going to fast. Because I want you ladies to know that I am doing this work with you. Okay? Fasting, when we abstain from food for an extended amount of time, we give ourselves the time to process that old food that you were eating, but also for you to heal and revitalize the womb. When you stop eating for a certain amount of time, specifically 3 days, if we want to be really, really real, when you stop eating food after the 3rd day, your body is in straight healing mode. Your body is going and it is attacking all of these different cell abnormalities. Anything that is happening in your body that is not in alignment with health and well-being, it starts to go and heal it naturally. Your body is a self-healing mechanism. All right. You ain't gonna lose weight that fast, sis. You ain't gonna lose weight that fast. I'll tell you that for sure. All right. 2, on the spiritual, mental, and emotional level, we give ourselves the opportunity to face our trauma, our hurt, our disappointment. Let me tell you something. When you get rid of the food, all of the shit starts coming up. You start to see all of your shit and it forces you to deal with it. You cannot run to the cake, the cookies, the ice cream, the pizza, the salmon. You cannot run to anything in order for you to heal that thing. You got to deal with it head on. That's the beauty of fasting. What's even more beautiful is that after you face it, you realize your own strength. See, a lot of you don't know how strong you are because you haven't given yourself a challenge. Fasting gives you a challenge. And you got to give yourself a challenge so that you can grow. All right? So that you can see that you are more capable than you thought. You're stronger than you think, right? You're better than you know. And Shanette is so right. Shanette is so right. You won't lose too much, a pound or two, but best believe right when you eat, you're going to gain that weight right back. I promise you. But the spiritual purification that happens is something that is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. If you, like Sarah, are like, I don't want to lose weight, then here's the next thing that you can do. Intermittent fasting. But you got to give yourself a good window. 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., that's the time that you eat. Before 12 and after 8, no eating. This is also a very spiritual, powerful practice that it is absolute. I haven't eaten today. I just realized I haven't eaten anything today, right? But that is what allows me to be in my spiritual power. That is what allows me to be creative. That is what allows me to get shit done. Because a lot of times you eat breakfast and you get stagnant, you get slow. You drink a coffee, you feel good in the moment, and then the coffee burns off and you're like, damn, okay, now I'm feeling lethargic, okay? So the other option is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting allows you to tap into your feminine energy of creativity and fluidity. It allows you to just flow. A lot of times when we eat breakfast, it bogs us down, right? It bogs us down, it weighs us down, it makes us feel heavy, and we get into that masculine energy. All right? Water. Ladies, I want you to challenge yourself this week to make sure that you drink at least your body weight in ounces of water. Okay? So for me right now, I'm like 178. My goal for this week is to drink at least 178 ounces of water. Okay? Water is the element of the sacral chakra. Your womb resides in the sacral chakra. This is your creativity, your sexuality, sensuality, pleasure, and passion. All right? If you are not feeling creative, if you don't have that sexual pleasure, if you are lacking intimacy, you need to deal with the sacral chakra. You need to do this womb work, which is why we are here today. So water powers up the womb. Water is symbolic of tides and emotions. When you drink a lot of water, you are symbolically saying, I am allowing my emotions to flow. I am not just holding on to them. When I say power up your water, this is what I mean. Okay? Can you see that? Can y'all see my screen? Can you see me? Good, right? This is our Emoto water bottle, and on it is affirmations. I am successful. I am healthy. I am strong. I am gorgeous. All of those things. You don't have to have this to power up your water. With your bottle of water, with your glass of water, you speak into that water. I am healthy. I am whole. I am gorgeous. I am amazing. I am letting my light shine. I am capable of anything and everything that I desire. I am abundance. I am prosperous. Everything that I want and need is flowing to me. My womb is healthy and whole. My body is healthy and whole. My body is functioning in the highest capacity. I am everything that I was designed and destined to be. I am living my best life. I am letting my light shine. Did y'all see how I just gave this water that power? Let me know in the chat, because that's what I'm talking about. And then I shall drink of it. So all of the affirmations that I just said into that water are now integrated into my being. This is a practice. This is a discipline. This is something that you need to do regularly. Okay? This is something that you need to do regularly. Weight loss procedure. Is that sacral chakra? Brina, I would say root chakra. Brina. It could really be either or. So I would say to definitely look at your sacral chakra and look at your root chakra, because it very well could be both. The root chakra and the sacral chakra, they like to dance, right? They like to intermingle. They like to bounce off of one another, right? Kimmy is really crying down there. Let me get through. Okay. I don't know how I messed this up right here, but don't mind that, ladies. You want to experiment with water fasting, right? You want to experiment with water fasting. First, try it for 1 day, then go to 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, etc. But you definitely want to experiment with it. Why? Water burns off karmic energy. Water fast burns off karmic energy, past partners, soul ties, and ancestral trauma. So when you decide I'm going to abstain from food and I'm going to purge myself of this old person through water, that's exactly what will happen. Everything simply requires your intentions. This week, I need you to take a spiritual bath. I need you to take a spiritual bath this week. If you want to take it on the day that you are fasting, that is even more powerful. Okay? Because water is cleansing, water is healing, water helps you to release those emotions. Here's the thing. If you are dealing with something, a ailment or something that is in the body, that has manifested in the body, then doing a hot bath or a warm bath would be good. If you're trying to release certain thoughts, certain emotions, doing a lukewarm, cool bath would be good, okay? All right, womb yoga. This is the last thing that we are going to be tapping in with today. This is the last thing that we're going to be tapping in with today. Let me see. And I really want you ladies to join in with me. That is, Kimmy is really yelling. Let me see how I can do this. This is my first time. Actually, I'm going to stop my camera for now. Hold on, ladies. But I told you, y'all at the beginning of today's session that I was going to have you ladies do some movements. That is what I told you at the beginning of today's session. And the reason why I want you ladies to do this is because I truly know the power. Let me see how that looks. Hold on. All right. And that is because, let me see. Let me lift that up a little bit. Y'all got your girl on the floor, but I am here for you and I want you to be here for you, right? So I truly know that we are, I did not plan on structuring this thing correctly. This camera correctly. But I'm on the floor here. Wish I could lift, let me lift that up some more. And I'm in exercise clothes because I knew what we was going to be doing today. All right. So I want this different, y'all. Hold on. I want you ladies to meet me on the floor. I want you ladies to meet me on the floor because we are going to do some yoga poses. We're only going to stay in each yoga pose for about 2 breaths. And it is because I want you ladies to know these different womb healing movements, right? I want you ladies to know these different womb healing movements. So join me on your floor. Join me on your floor. We're going to get it in. I'm really trying to fix my camera. I don't know how to. Look at Shanae. Hey, girl. So how do I get this to lean better? This ain't leaning right. You know what? I can't worry about it, right? I can't worry about it too much. Let me see. Give me yelling. Okay, maybe I just gotta stay close. All right, so this is gonna have to work for now, right? So I had composed these 6 yoga poses to be the ones who really support with womb healing, right? The first one is fetal pose, right? Let me show y'all what that looks like. It looks like just being a baby. Here. Hopefully y'all can see me. I'm hoping y'all can see me. Maybe I'll turn this way. Boom. Fetal pose. Let me go this way. Boom. Fetal pose. All right. Let me get you ladies to get in fetal pose. What we are doing in this pose is we are reconnecting to the great mother. This is us going back into the womb. This is us being a baby again. We're going to get in fetal pose and we're going to breathe. Let's do 2 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Understand, this is just me showing you it, you doing it with me, us practicing it, and then you're going to do this in your own time sometime this week. All right? I'm going there. Just 2 deep breaths. All righty. So understand this, ladies. Everything is taking place mentally and emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So when you say, okay, I'm doing fetal pose and I'm connecting to the great mother, that is what you are doing. You're reconnecting to the great mother. Next, we go from fetal pose to happy baby or advanced birthing. In this pose, we are giving birth to ourselves. We're birthing ourselves as new, as whole, as being who we were destined to be, right? So this is happy baby. Which way can I? This is happy baby, right? Hold on to those feet. I wish I could show y'all better. So you lay on your back. How can I angle this camera? I should have practiced this before I got on here with y'all. Sorry. Lay on your back, feet go up, and you want to hold the inside of your feet. Happy baby. This is happy baby. Which angle? This is happy baby. All right? And you want to rock side to side. This is you reconnecting to your womb and birthing yourself. Happy baby. Oh, God, that feels so good. Oh. Whew. All right. Then after we birth ourselves, right? After we go through happy baby, after the baby comes the child. Get it, Shanette. Yes, 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 yes. Y'all better get into that happy baby. It feels great. After happy baby, then we become the child. We get in child's pose. In child's pose, your big toes come together and you just drop back into child's pose. Arms go out. Now, child pose is one of my favorites because it is so grounding and it really helps you to ground out all of the mental activity. When you place your head down on the ground like that, one, it's so humbling and it shows humility, right? But two, it allows you to take all the chaos that is happening in your mind and pretty much give it back to the earth. So that is child's pose. This next one is called womb reflection, right? Womb reflection. And in this one, you are going to bring your knees to your head. It's a little bit challenging, but it's necessary. I just love how I'm just on the floor with y'all right now. Boom. Here. okay? That is womb reflection. Obviously, I am reflecting on my womb, and it really causes this oneness to take place in that moment. Womb reflection. This is you getting back in touch with your sacred self. The next one is womb power. Another challenging one, but this is going to revitalize the womb. This sends blood to the womb. This sends that nourishment to the womb. Here it is. Here, and we go up. So legs are straight up, and you're just in your power. Yes. And we always remember to breathe. And we gently come back down. Love it, love it, love it. And then the last pose is goddess pose, and it requires, it keeps you grounded. It makes you to stand firm as a goddess, as a divine sacred being. And we are here. Ooh, let me see. Let me get on the right angle. All right. Here, boom, goddess pose. Yes. And you breathe. Oh God, that feels so good. Listen, ladies, those are, let me turn this up straight. Boom. All right, we back up here. Those few yoga poses are, Kimmy is really going off down there. Let me use my camera. I should have expanded this. What I'm going to do is, this is what I'm going to do for you ladies. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to record all of those. Even though some of you may know them, which is great if you do. But what I'm going to do is I'll record it and make it into a video. Probably won't be today. I'm going to get that done for y'all tomorrow and get it posted, because I should have took off sharing the screen so that when you look back, you can see it. But I didn't do that. So excuse me. But those are there are so many yoga poses that you can do that can help you to strengthen and connect with your womb and release. But those ones were the ones that always just did something to me. Like child's pose, I cry. Like when I'm in heavy spiritual work and I do child's pose, it brings tears to my eyes, literally. Because I'm reclaiming that innocence, that safety, that purity in that moment. And then like the womb reflection, womb power, and goddess pose, those are the poses that are helping me to regain my strength and understand who I am and what it is that I am doing, okay? Why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why am I in this work? Why am I doing this healing, all right? So fetal pose, advanced birthing, and child's pose, that is for you to connect with your younger self, your inner child, that part of you that seems lost and disconnected. And then the other three are for you to regain your strength. It's for you to come back to yourself, for you to come back to your power. All right. Here's the womb work for this week. Here's the womb work. I want you to pick a day to fast or intermittent fast the entire week, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay? Either you can do a 1-day fast or more. Like if your spirit has already been calling you to fast, then do you, boo. But I want you to fast this week. I'm going to fast with you. You can pick 1 day to completely fast, or you can intermittent fast for the entire week. Me personally, I intermittent fast anyway, so I'm going to keep intermittent fasting. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to fast completely, a juice fast, water fast, one or the other. This week, I also want you ladies to yoni steam. As you are doing a lot of releasing, yoni steaming supports you in that. When that steam goes up into your vagina, Basically, you are releasing a lot of stuff. That's what the yoni steam actually does. Third, I want you to continue doing the alchemy on your thoughts. I want to support you with this. Know that you don't have to do it by yourself. Know that you don't have to do it by yourself, okay? If you need support, if you recognize a thought that you're keeping that doesn't serve you and you need support, maybe you don't want to share with everybody, shoot me a direct message in the Geneva app and I am more than happy to support you in it. I want you ladies to do the cosmic womb meditation again. I want you to do it by yourself. I want you to take yourself into the cosmic womb. I actually believe that I already have one recorded. So I'm going to try to find it and drop the recording. I'm going to try to find it and drop the recording in Teachable and in the Geneva app. And then lastly, I want you ladies to find time this week to just scream. Okay? All of this information you will be able to find in Teachable. Kaylin, good question. So on Amazon, you can find a yoni steam seat, and you can find it for like $15, right? If you don't have that, and if you don't want to, let me just tell y'all ladies, I think y'all can get it. Just get it. I've done it. I'm gonna share my screen and show y'all it real quick. I did put it in the ebook. I put a link for it, but I'm gonna show y'all my screen real quick because I definitely recommend just getting the seat. It makes it a lot easier. It's not expensive at all. So you get something like this, right? A little sitz bath seat. So once you boil your herbs and all of that good stuff like that, ladies, please go look at the ebook. In the ebook, I put everything that you need to know about how to yoni steam, all right? And how to do it safely. So once you get your herbs in here, you sit this thing on top of your toilet. You sit this in your toilet. This part right here, this thing right here wanna do the whole damn. This part around here, right? That's where you're actually going to be, damn, how does it work? Let me visualize it in my head. So yes, you can like, your toilet seat is down and you put this on top of it. This middle part goes in the middle of the toilet and you can sit directly on it. Does that make sense? Make sense? Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. I want to make sure that it makes sense. So you sit this in your toilet and you can sit right down on top of it. These things go for like $15 and you can get it at your house next day. You know what I mean? So I don't want y'all going all out like this. You don't have to do all of that, right? You don't have to do all of this. Just get this, sit on your toilet, light your candles, and do your thing. What I'm going to do, it may not happen today because like I said, Kimmy is going crazy down there, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the pages out of the ebook for the yoni steam. I'm going to drop them in Teachable so you don't have to go through the whole ebook just to get to that. All right. I'm going to drop just those pages in Teachable. It's going to say yoni steam is going to tell you exactly what to do. Okay. All righty. Any questions before we go? All righty, ladies. I am here for y'all in the Geneva app. I love you and we'll be talking soon. Peace. Also, takeaways and testimonies. Drop them in the Geneva app. I want to read them. Let me know how I can be better. Let me know what you like. Let me know what stood out to you so I can show up better for you. Thank you, ladies. Peace.